Hello, hello, and good evening, everybody. Marcus C. Williams here. So, we're going to go through an update on all of this terrorist activity that is plaguing our nation. It seems to be growing by the day and by the hour. More and more threats of terror across our nation continue to pop up here, there, everywhere. And it's getting to be beyond concerning for the general safety of all of the American people. It's just really starting to go too far. We've got new updates on the information on the Vegas car bomb that went off yesterday. We've got more thoughts and questions coming up with this whole thing with the New Orleans car crasher, I guess you call him, right? You know, this is a very serious time for our nation. And I know a lot of you guys know that now more than ever, we need to be vigilant. But the question is, what really is going on? Is something else behind everything? And where are we going moving forward? So I'm going to show you a couple of clips. We're going to start off with this one. This is from the actual car explosion while the car was on fire. And then I want to go into something else about that exact thing with you. Check this out. So now with all of that commotion and everything going on, it's kind of really hard to tell what actually was happening there at the time. When it started, nobody was sure if the car just caught fire or if it was some sort of a sign, because people have been at Elon Musk over what he's been saying about importing more immigrants so that they can actually take jobs that Americans could possibly get. And people weren't very happy about that. Maybe it was a message to him and Trump that they didn't like either of them, or maybe it was just a Tesla that caught on fire, as we've seen many EVs catch on fire. So nobody quite knew what was going on at the time, but now we know that there was some sort of an explosive device, possibly a bomb, or maybe some sort of IED that was in the back of the truck, not in the cab, but in the back of the truck. And there were a whole bunch of fireworks and stuff in it. And today, when they were digging through it, they put up a report on they found some guns in the car. They found some other stuff in the car. They also found, amazingly, ID. They found a passport and the charred remains of whoever was in the cab at the time, who they're saying they believe was the, I don't know what you call them, the bad guy, right? Because it's very questionable at this time. So they actually found a body in the cab. Now, here's the interesting thing about the body that they found in the vehicle. It had a bullet hole in the head. Now, I'm not, you don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to say, hey, man, that sounds a little bit interesting. Somebody that was in the car that blew up had a bullet hole in their head. And now they're saying that, oh, well, maybe while you're watching, hit the thumbs up, hit the heart, hit the share this out, get it out to more people. I'm telling you, that's the way we spread this message of these important conversations that we need to have. Hit that share button, hit some hearts, and if you drop some comments, I'll do my best to try to pop them up as we go in this conversation. But when they found this guy in the car that had exploded with a hole in his head because he got shot in the head, they also found a gun in the cab. So now the question is, did he shoot himself? Did somebody else shoot him? The car's got self-driving. Did he get shot somewhere else in the car or get driven there by automation? What's really going on? But at this time, they're saying it appears to be a suicide by the guy who set off the bomb, and he set off the bomb there from in the cab. But before he did that, he shot himself in the head. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that sounds a little bit interesting and very unique to me. The guy shot himself in the head before he blew up a bomb. Who does that? What bomber does that? Have we ever heard of anything like that happen before? That sounds a little unique, right? To say the least. They say that they couldn't even really identify the guy because the body was charred beyond recognition, which is another thing. So they couldn't find him because of the DNA. They couldn't get any DNA. But what they could see is his tattoos clear enough to make observant analysis of who he was. So check this video out from President Biden.
People in New Orleans are sending.
Make sure you share this out. Check this video out.
People in New Orleans are sending an unmistakable message. They will not let this attack or the attackers' deluded ideology overcome us. None of us should fear that it will overcome us. We're going to continue to relentlessly pursue ISIS and other terrorist organizations where they are, and they'll find no safe harbor here. I'll continue to provide updates in New Orleans and Las Vegas as the facts develop.
Now, the question is, as usual, Biden is stumbling all over the place. We got serious issues. I haven't seen Kamala since the election. I don't know where she's at, right? Where the heck is she, right? Not that I want to see her, but I'm just saying, right? Where's she at? So Biden doesn't know what's going on. He says it's a terrorist attack and it's an ideology that's not from here. And it's the Islamists from overseas that are the problem. I don't disagree with him. I don't agree with Biden very much on half of anything, but I don't disagree with him there. However, this whole circumstance and everything that's going on, it reeks very bad. It smells so bad. It looks so bad. And if it looks fishy and it smells fishy, it must be the funky fish. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Something ain't right here. Let's catch this press briefing with the sheriff in Vegas.
I remind you that the subject inside wasn't able to be removed for a very long period of time because he was burnt beyond recognition. And so as we continue to move through this, I'm going to talk a little bit about his identity and what we believe. But I would like to highlight a couple of things that the teams found inside of the Cybertruck that are useful to the investigation. And that, first and foremost, is a military identification. We also found a passport. We found a Desert Eagle 50 caliber semi-automatic pistol. And if you'll notice on a lot of these guns that we're going to talk about here, they're almost just burnt beyond recognition as well. There's a SLR model B30 semi-automatic firearm, number of fireworks that were still in the vehicle that had to be removed. Notably, we found an iPhone and a smartwatch, and then several credit cards were also in the name of our subject.
Well, I mean, geez, that seems a little fishy and a little suspect. You know, all this explosion that burnt this guy's body beyond DNA recognition, where they had to identify him by his actual, I don't even know how you do this, honestly. How can a body be burnt with beyond recognition, but you can identify somebody by their tattoos? I don't know. That seems very questionable to me, but I mean, hey, but they've got all of this other stuff there that makes it look like it's this guy. They found the ID, they found the wallet, they found all of this stuff. Now, what they didn't say is whether the Desert Eagle was the gun that they found inside the cab. It's very, very interesting. Very interesting that this isn't the conversation that's being had. Now, there was also the rifle that they mentioned. Now, the question is that if he had a hole in his head and he had shot himself before the explosion, multiple questions there. But if he did that, which weapon would it have been with? A Desert Eagle? A rifle? Neither of them quite fit the bill. I mean, maybe, possibly, but it said, when they said it, they said he had a hole in his skull, right? So you think hole in the skull, that would be the side of the head type of situation. So probably a handgun. So now the question is, was it a Desert Eagle that did that, or was it something else? And these are the type of questions that we need to start asking, because they're not giving out all this full information. And you need to start asking yourself, why are they giving us this weird parsed out information that, even if it was given in full, wouldn't jeopardize any type of investigation or ongoing investigation? It seems very readily to me that they don't know what the heck is going on. So they're just trying to throw stuff at the wall to see what sticks to dissuade the public from looking into it any further. Like what we're talking about, hit the share button, hit the heart button. Please drop some comments. Every comment helps the algorithm, and share this out so it gets out to more people. Check this other video out from the sheriff.
Was in that vehicle sort of vented out and up, but it didn't even damage the glass doors at the trunk. So I'm not sure what that means. I also know that there's a number of unexploded pieces of the things that he had inside of that vehicle, and so I just don't think that it was done as well as he was expecting it to be done. But go ahead.
Sofia Rodriguez with Univision Vegas. I was wondering, were you able to recover the video from the Cybertruck, or was that destructive?
So the question is, are we able to recover the video from the Cybertruck? And many of you may know that those Cybertrucks contain a tremendous number of cameras. Again, Mr. Musk has sent out a number of his folks that will be arriving here this afternoon with the intent to try to capture the part of that captured all of the video from inside of the truck. Sir?
Just quickly, you had mentioned a number of the components in the back of the truck that did not go off. Maybe this is a better suited question for ATF, but when it comes to the rudimentary nature of the bomb, I think we mostly think of a bomb that is connected. This seems like individual kind of incendiary and combustible components put together. Can you speak to how you think this is a bomb, or was it just several pieces of things that might blow up and might explode that were just lit and gone off at the same time?
Yeah, I'll tell you, it does appear that it was. I just want to be careful with my language here, but the level of sophistication is not what we would expect from an individual with this type of military experience. That most of the materials inside that Tesla were fuel to help fuel a greater explosion. But it's too early to answer any question as if there was sophisticated connectivity to those components to make it ignite in the way that it did.
All I have to say is, boom goes the dynamite, right? Like, this is something that's very serious. And listen to what the ATF dude said. He said, well, this guy has all this military service and all this stuff. It seems like this is elementary school stuff for somebody to put together compared to somebody that has experience. His family, the family of the guy that they're saying did it, has come out and they've said the guy was a true patriot. He loves his country. He supports Trump and was a very strong fan of him. And it doesn't make any sense, you guys. It doesn't make any sense. And you should start questioning this type of stuff yourself. If things aren't adding up, then they really don't add up. The math ain't mathing, isn't that right? So if you guys are enjoying this conversation and what we're talking about and how we're getting the information out to you, please check the ticker below. You can see different ways to donate. Check out the donation links. You can do Cash App, $MW Real, the number 1. That's $MW Real, the digit 1. Or you can do givesendgo.com/Marcus C. Williams. You can also do Venmo or PayPal. It's at Marcus C. Williams. So as we have this conversation, it's important that we look at all of the aspects of this picture. This is a veteran that has seen tours of duty, that knows explosives, that is considered to be by his family and friends and everybody a patriot, you know, that served extra in the military because he really believes in his country. So they're saying that there's no sign of radicalization or anything up to this point that would make anybody suspicious of anything. And these are the people that are closest that know him. Now we know from those murder mysteries, it was a guy next door that he was a loner. We always thought the best of him. We never saw this coming. This isn't the case with this guy. So the people knew him well. He was in their family. And they're like, if he wanted to blow something up, he could have took something that blew up half the building. But he did something so small, allegedly. And I say allegedly because I'm not fully convinced it was the guy in the car that did it. And it was the guy in the car that was the Green Beret if he had done it. Something doesn't smell right. Something's not sitting right here with me. And if you feel that it's not sitting right with you, drop a comment, drop a thumbs up, drop a like, and let's continue this conversation forward, because we really need to start to have these serious conversations of where the country is going, because people are in fear right now because they're terrified because it looks like terrorism over and over again. 2 terrorist events in one day. And get this, the other guy from New Orleans, guess what? He was in the military too. Now I'm going to show you a clip of this guy. If you didn't catch this, check this out. Because the question is does this guy strike you as a type of individual that all of a sudden is just now an Islamic terrorist bomber? Check this out.
Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist and IT specialist, where I learned the meaning of great service and what it means to be responsive and take everything seriously, dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that things go off without a hitch. So I've taken those skills and applied them to my career.
First of all, I mean, if that this is this guy that allegedly did that thing yesterday, I mean, I didn't see no I's dotted, no T's crossed, no nothing. And the more that I watch the video from yesterday's situation, the more I wonder if that was the plan at all. I'm looking at it and I'm like, was he even really trying to hit people, or was he trying to get away from somebody, or was something else going on? Even more so, because the guy is speeding down the road, the actual road, right? Like there's people all on the sidewalk and on the side of the street and stuff like that. He didn't actually start hitting people until he came to the intersection that was down the street. So these are questions, and I think I might have a video on that. Let me see if I got that video here. If not, I got another video for you to watch anyway. Hit the share, hit the like, get this out to more people so we can continue to have these important conversations. And please do a small donation, $5, $10, $25, whatever you can do, so we can make more content and get more information out there. Check this video out.
That source also revealed what was inside the truck: explosives that included fireworks, gas tanks, and camping fuel. And authorities believe that that was connected to a detonation system controlled by the driver. We're also hearing this same sentiment from Elon Musk, who tweeted out that they have now confirmed that the explosion was caused by very large fireworks and/or a bomb carried in the bed of the rented Cybertruck and is unrelated to the vehicle itself. So he was clear to say that this was not an issue with the Cybertruck. And the sheriff also earlier said that they are checking for secondary devices. They're investigating many different leads, but he was clear to say that there does not appear to be any further threat to the Las Vegas community.
So this is very interesting. As we see Tesla now jumping into the picture and Elon trying to get some information off of the cameras from the car and stuff like this starts to bring in even more questions about the nature of surveillance that continues to permeate in our nation. Is this the direction that we want to go, being surveilled all the time for any given reason? And if these guys, both of military background, and the one guy, you just saw the video from him a couple of moments ago, he's like, yes, I learned the importance of dotting your I's and crossing your T's and making sure you plan everything strategically through and all of this and all of that. So it seems very unstrategic what happened in New Orleans. Something ain't right there. It's smelly. It's smelly. And if it don't smell right, it's probably not right. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, they're just terrorists. Maybe. To me, best case scenario, if they are terrorists, we're looking at some sort of a MK Ultra brainwashing Manchurian candidate type of situation. This sounds suspect, y'all. And y'all got to wake up and see it for what it is. Okay? You mean all of these crazy people that we really got, that we just let into the country, they're not doing the stuff, and all of a sudden, magically, it's 2 people that were in the military, okay? At least one that may have been part of the CIA. It's just so suspect. So suspect, you guys. You understand what I'm saying? And I believe very, very firmly, whether you want to say it's a outside element or it's the government or whoever, that they're setting us up for something much bigger coming up. They're doing these little things in different places, trying to scare us and trying to get us ready for something much bigger. And what's going to happen is the government and the people that are really in charge are going to use that as a guise to pull away more of our freedoms, more of our liberties, encourage more biorecognition in the middle of everywhere. They're going to do more facial scans, more biometric scans, and all types of stuff, and push more digital IDs on people. This is what's coming, people. Wake up, because as we know, you should not let anything that goes bad and happens in society just go to waste, right? So check this video out here. I think this might interest you. So is this it? It's going to play? Well, maybe this one doesn't want to play. So we'll go into this other part here and check this video out here.
Hey there, this is Joseph Omo with NBC4. We are right outside of the Capitol, and you see all of those flashing police lights over there, the firefighters, the ambulances. Capitol Police just tweeted out about 15 minutes ago that they are investigating a suspicious vehicle. That is all we know, but they are pushing the perimeter out. You can see officers over here closing off the walkways to 3rd Street Northwest here as they continue this investigation. We're going to keep you updated, and we're going to have a live report on News 4 at midday at 11 o'clock in about half an hour.
So that's from Washington, D.C., right by the Capitol building this morning about 10 a.m. So some sort of a crazy activity. Nobody's quite sure what's going on. As you can see, all of those fences are behind you, are behind that guy on the screen. So there's a whole separate conversation about that. But apparently what it was this guy was driving on the sidewalk. I don't know. We don't know what the whole situation is there, if there's any extra there, or what's going on. But it shows that people are on very, very high alert after what's been going on. So we need to be observant that people are more likely to give away their freedoms, to give away their liberties when they're scared. And that's not all that's going on today. Check this out. So now that's South Carolina. Hit the like button, hit the heart button, drop some comments, and we'll try to get your comments up there. And we'll definitely continue this conversation. Please, if you can, do a small donation. There's how to donate in the ticker and on the sides of the screens. $5, $10, $25, whatever you can do helps us do more programming. So the video that you just saw was South Carolina, an unattended 18-wheeler truck that just seems to be on there, that apparently there was a call for a bomb scare on that truck. We're still waiting for more updates from what happened with that truck. We don't know what happened from that truck yet. Is there a bomb on the truck? We don't know. But everybody right now is on pins and needles and on the edge of their seat because everybody is concerned that the next shoe is coming soon. And I don't know what to tell you, you guys. You don't feel safe? I understand. We opened up the borders. We let all of these people in that hate us, that don't want to assimilate, that only care about themselves or the countries that they came from. And then we see all of this insanity going on, knowing that we also have that in our country, but seeing that these people allegedly were American citizens and military, that something ain't right, you guys. And I know that many of you feel it deep down inside in your gut that this ain't right. Something isn't not right. Hey, Cam, I see you there. It's not right. It's not in the right order. And something is very, very, very wrong. Yeah, so this is something that we are seeing more and more of. People are raising the alarm that any types of events like this that are going on could be part of something much bigger. Now, it's very interesting. If you guys remember January 6th and the events at January 6th in the last presidential inauguration, I guess you'd say not the inauguration, but the certification of the ballots, right? That there were 2 bombs that were placed at the RNC headquarters and the DNC headquarters, and they never caught anybody. They never talked about it for 4 years. The FBI didn't say boo-hoo or loo about it. They didn't release any information about it. They didn't try to look for nobody. Maybe they did, but they didn't ask the public to help nobody, nothing. They talked about everybody else. The federal government talked about everything else. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer talked about everything else, but they didn't talk about the bombs. And they didn't talk about the fact that one was placed at the RNC and one was placed at the DNC. One at each headquarters? Come on now, if you don't smell a fish, I don't know what you frying. Now check this out. The FBI just came out with this today, 4 years later. Is this what we're doing? What's really going on? Check this out. While everybody's in fear, the FBI releases this today.
On January 5th, 2021, between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m., an unidentified individual placed pipe bombs near the offices of the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee in Washington, D.C. As we mark the 4-year anniversary of the night the pipe bombs were placed on Capitol Hill, the FBI and our partners are renewing our call for tips from the public to help us identify the suspect. We are releasing additional details about the suspect, as well as previously unreleased video of the suspect placing the bomb at the Democratic National Committee. A reward of up to $500,000 is available for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the individual responsible for this attempted attack. If you have any information, please call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. You can also submit tips online at tips.fbi.gov. One previously unreleased detail is the FBI's estimate of the suspect's height to be approximately 5'7" tall. The suspect wore a face mask, a gray hooded sweatshirt, and black gloves. They used a backpack to transport each of the devices. They were wearing distinctive Nike Air Max Speed Turf shoes, which are black and gray with the yellow Nike logo. Fewer than 25,000 of these shoes were sold between August 2018 and January 2021. The first time the suspect is seen is at approximately 7:34 p.m. at the intersection of 1st Street and North Carolina Avenue Southeast. The person walks southwest on North Carolina Avenue, turns north on New Jersey Avenue, west on D Street, and then south on South Capitol Street. This footage of the suspect on South Capitol Street shows the person setting down their backpack, which is believed to contain one of the bombs at this time. The suspect appears to put on a pair of glasses and scan the area, standing on tiptoes. Before picking up the backpack, turning around, and heading back the way they came on South Capitol Street. After reaching the corner of D Street, the suspect turns around again, and this time walks south all the way down South Capitol Street to a bench outside the Democratic National Committee headquarters building. Here we see the suspects sit on the bench for a few minutes. They do not place the bomb at this time. The suspect then walks east on Ivy Street, turns north on New Jersey Avenue, and then pauses near the corner of D Street before retracing their steps back to the DNC bench where the first bomb is placed. This previously unreleased footage shows the suspect sitting on the DNC bench before placing the first bomb.
Okay, I don't want to bore you with the rest of that right there, but this is the FBI. They just released this today. This was photos and imagery of the person that set the bombs on January 6th at the RNC and at the DNC. So the Republican headquarters they put a bomb at, and the Democrat headquarters they put a bomb at. Now, that sounds like some anarchism, destabilization, insanity to me. That doesn't sound like somebody that's right wing or left wing. That sounds like something else completely. Now, whether you want to say maybe that was a government agent, or maybe it was just an anarchist, or maybe it was just somebody that's outside their mind, or maybe it was a terrorist, whatever you want to say, it's very interesting and very distinguishing that it most likely was not one of those regular people that we would consider to be a far left person or a far right person. Okay, it's a possibility, but it doesn't seem as such. It seems like there was something else going on there. They never exploded, they were never detonated, nothing was done. The bombs weren't really put in front of the buildings. You know, understand what I'm saying? Like they were put off to the side and stuff like that. So even if they did blow up, it would be more of a scare factor than it would actually be a damage to the actual building factor. So this is a very, very, very concerning thing. And they haven't talked about this at all. For 4 years, the FBI has sat on this and they haven't said word boot. What happened? And you probably, this might even be your first time hearing that there were bombs that were planted at the headquarters of the Republicans and the Democrats on January 6th. It's crazy. If you are watching right now, hit the heart button, hit the share, drop some comments. That helps the algorithm to get it out to more people. And if you do feel so inclined, please check out the ticker for some ways to donate. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, different ways are right down there. And you can donate on givesendgo.com/Marcus C. Williams. These are important conversations we need to have, because what's going on seems to be very, very concerning. And we talked a little bit about the border and all of the crazy people that have come in through the border. But I want to show you this quote right now, because they were saying that the first guy is an Islamic terrorist because he had the ISIS flag, or whatever the case is, appeared to be the ISIS flag. Check this out. This is a post. Check this out. Let me see if I can add it. Let me see. How do we bring it up bigger for you? Is this big? There we go. Okay. Oh, you can't see it like that. Let's see. All right. Well, it doesn't want to be big for us. So whatever. I'll read it to you. Okay. It says, this is by Sean Strickland. It says, Islamic extremists, you mean people who actually follow the Quran's teachings? ? Islam contributes nothing to the world besides violence, oppression, and it's not compatible with America and with freedom. So now this guy is a martial arts fighter, very strong Christian, whatever the case is. That's who he is. But he's not wrong, right? Like the whole concept of Islam is to dominate the world. That's a fact. That's not a fictition. That's not me saying, oh, is it somebody doesn't like Islam or something like that? No, that's what their holy book teaches. You understand what I'm saying? And anybody that tells you different is misleading you. Now, maybe they're not like that. Far be it for me to say as an individual, but the religion is 100% like that. And anybody that tells you anything different is an absolute liar. And that's a very concerning thing, because we see far too many people now try to sell you a false bill of goods when it comes to what Islam is really about. Okay, they want to subjugate and take over the whole world as a religion. It's insane. It's insane. So when you see these people that are radicalized, all they got to do is read the Quran, because that's what it says in there. So, you know, you start saying, oh, well, you could have more power. You could have more control over your life. You know, you kill yourself, you go to heaven, you get 72 virgins or whatever it is. You know, like it starts to sound good if you all stressed out and you don't have any other options. And if you look at a lot of these sand countries where you get these people that get radicalized from, they don't got a lot of nothing. So if somebody don't got a lot of nothing, they're very likely to be willing to die for whatever. But it's also more, and it's deeper than that. It's an ideology. We're starting to see it in our schools. We're starting to see it creep into our everyday walk of life. Whenever we go outside, we see these crazy pro-Palestinian people. Allegedly, they're pro-Palestinian people. They're not, though. They're socialists and communists mixed in with terrorists. You know what I'm saying? They're out there waving what do you call them flags? The Islam, what do you call it? The ISIS flag. You know what I'm saying? They're waving ISIS flags and stuff like that, talking about we're going to create an international intifada. Check this video out. This is Fifth Avenue yesterday, after, not before, after the bomb went off in Vegas and after the guy ran over those people in New Orleans. After that, check this out. You see that? A ton of people are out there marching, carrying ISIS flags and shouting "Down with America." What are they saying? Globalize the Intifada, right? And From the River to the Sea, the classics. They're also singing those. Here's a better clip of it. So this is after an Islamic terrorist attack in New Orleans. Okay. Now, am I saying that there might have been something else behind it, that it might be misleading, blah, 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 whatever. It doesn't matter whether it is, it's not, it's a setup. It doesn't, none of that matters. What matters is it came on the TV as an Islamic terrorist attack. And then these people came out in the streets talking about death to America, down with America. Okay. That is a serious problem. And then the police and the FBI and the ATF and the DEA and all the rest of them, okay, all the alphabet police, federalized police agencies, let them do that. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. But they out there arresting grandmas that were there on January 6th. Are you serious? Are you serious? Is this what our country has come to? Is this what we're doing right now? All this is doing is allowing the people that are really behind the government and the elites that are at the top of the pyramid to push in more control over the American people, strip away more of our rights. I haven't heard one person that calls himself conservative or Republican or whatever say we need to get rid of the Patriot Act. Have you guys heard that? Comment and let me know if you heard that. If you've heard any of them say that, comment and let me know that you've heard that. I haven't heard any of that. How come none of them are saying get rid of the Patriot Act? That should be day one what Donald Trump does. Get rid of the Patriot Act. Annul it. Okay, I'm not 100% sure that he can do that. I'm sure he can circumvent it. Okay, but I don't know that he could 100% do that. That'd have to be an act of Congress. But regardless, nobody's pushing for that. There's a mass surveillance thing where they can clearly catch up all types of Americans in it and do violations of the Fourth Amendment in there. But they can't catch none of the criminals. They can't catch none of the terrorists. They can't arrest none of these people. Is this for real? Let's see. What you talking about? You say how convenient it would be for all these events to be used as a means to call a state of emergency nationwide to delay the inauguration. Listen, bro. Okay. I'm so serious that I am very concerned about the president's inauguration coming up. Very much so. And now all of a sudden, Trump is calling for a rally on January 19th. I don't know what the heck is going on, y'all. That seems very concerning. You want to rally on January 19th? Let's pray and hope that goes off without a hitch. It seems suspect and definitely a firm and fertile ground for there to be some sort of, I don't even know what you call it, catastrophic, calamicalistic. That might be a word I just made up. Something very insane to happen, right? Like, I'm very concerned that we have been given this new hope, right? For the election. We got a new Congress coming in. We got a new president coming in. Maybe some of the stuff will change. And people have let down their guard. So now, if we have this new president coming in, everything's going to be fantastic. What better way to get the people to give up all hope than to give them a little bit of hope? Give them a little bit of hope and then slap it away. That is what I see going on. That's why I'm very concerned about anybody's safety that attends either that January 19th, Trump rally in DC, or that attends the inauguration. I'm praying. I hope you pray too. If you're following this right now, please make sure that you follow and subscribe. That's cool. And definitely hit the share button to get this out to more people. Every single share helps. Please share to get this out there to more people so we can create more content. Okay. And also hit the heart, hit the like, hit a comment. I'll put it up there. So let's have this serious conversation about the direction that we're going, where they're trying to push now for more constraints and more surveillance and more security, all stripping away your freedoms on a daily basis. I got something else to show you. I couldn't get the whole video, so I'm just going to do my best to play it for you. So as you watch this, remember, this is happening more and more places where they're trying to make more and more security, right? I use that term loosely, right? As Thomas Jefferson said, never give up your freedoms and liberty for some temporary security. So check this out, because this shows you the direction that we're going. Nope, maybe it didn't want to go up. Here it goes.
Like for us,
I guess it did not want to go up. Anyway, here comes the video this time for sure. Apparently it takes a second to add on. I don't know why.
so, and you have to imagine a lot of media members with a lot of equipment is going to take some time to get through that security line, and for us it took about, obviously looking with intent and being careful. One Sugar Bowl staff member even said, "Hey, pack your patience today because this is what it's going to be like." You know.
All right, I'm sorry about that, you guys, but it didn't want to play. Clearly, something's wrong with it, or whatever the case is. But that was showing the extra security that was taken at the Sugar Bowl today, because they had to delay the game because it's in New Orleans and they were having all of those issues and stuff going on, right? So they decided that they were going to add all types of bomb sniffing dogs. They're adding all types of snipers. Now you got to go through there like you're going through the TSA. The TSA is another thing that needs to be abolished. You know that they haven't actually stopped one terrorist act. Isn't that kind of crazy? This is from their own admission through their own paperwork. That's insane to me. But anyway, but the TSA is something that also came out of, guess what? The Patriot Act. Okay? So these are things that we need to have a conversation about, but we're not. And nobody's trying to have a conversation about it because they don't want you to think or to talk about all of the rights, liberties, and freedoms that are being stripped away from you. Because if you thought about them and if you talked about them, we'd be able to have a real serious conversation. Please hit the like button. Please hit the share button. These are important things to talk about. We got to get this message out there. They're up to no good. And I'm telling you right now, as we speak, this is way more serious than it looks. And I'm just really, really hoping that as we move forward, people don't give in to fear and just start giving up more and more of their rights. We're seeing them push these digital IDs, these biometric face scans. They're at every airport now. Don't use those clear machines, y'all. Y'all don't got to do them face scans. Y'all don't got to let the TSA do a face scan of you. That is not necessary. It is not required. You just tell them, I don't want to. And I know I don't have to, okay? You do not have to do that at all. They are just trying to condition you to get you used to all of these extra measures that are slowly stripping away all of your rights, liberties, and freedoms. You got to wake up, people. This is direly serious. And whether you believe that it's some vaporous present elite group or the government, or whether you do think that it is terrorists, okay, understand that our government, as much as I love our country, okay, I'm King Patriot #1, okay, in this piece. Nobody's more patriotic and loves our country more than Marcus C. Williams here. But when it comes to our government does not want our best interest, people. It doesn't. And it has showed us over and over again. So whenever somebody tells you, no, the government wouldn't do that, oh, yes, they would. Okay, they would. And there are various things that we can look to in the history of our nation, even just back in the last 50 years. okay, where they've been up to no good and they've attacked their own citizens and all types of stuff in America that we know about. So who knows what we don't know about? So all I'm saying is this: they're going to use these attacks to scare you. And when you're scared, they're going to try to encourage you to give up more of your rights, to give up more of your liberties. Okay, they're going to use this. Now they're talking about closing off Bourbon Street to all road traffic. Now I don't know about where you live, but they tried to do that in some of the on some of the streets in my city. Talking about, oh, we want to make it more walkable, more walkable. No, you want to restrict people's freedom of movement. You want to limit people's ability to have vehicles, and that's what it is. Be honest, stop lying. But they lying to you because they know that they can manipulate you. And if you give in, like the people did during COVID, where they were turning in their neighbors for having more than 2 people at their house and all of that jazz, all they got to do is program the people to turn people in. That's what they've been doing. That's the plot behind everything. You either voluntarily comply or they'll coerce your neighbors to turn you in. That's why we have to nip this in the bud right now. As we see that they're talking about now, there's this pandemic that's going on with bird flu. We got to kill all the animals so that people don't catch bird flu, which is going to skyrocket the price of eggs and beef and chicken. Are they serious? Okay, it's a play. They're trying to find more ways to control our everyday life. And this one is from the food. Now, allegedly, and I'm starting to see articles on this, which is terrifying. Okay, allegedly, what do you call it? H1N1, the bird flu, is getting into many people in China, and China's declared a state of emergency over the bird flu. Haven't we seen this game before? I don't believe not one of those things. Okay, I don't believe it. Not at all. Not a little bit. Okay, because they've been trying to sell that to us for years here. Since Obama, they tried to sell us bird flu is going to kill you. Okay, but now they've tried to weaponize it and everything. And now they're like, oh, the bird flu is in the pigs. The bird flu is in the cows. How in the universe the bird flu, not the cow flu, not the bovine flu, not the swine flu, because we got the swine flu too. Remember that they tried to hit us with the swine flu too before. That might be coming up soon. And I laugh to keep from crying, y'all. But all of these things, they're like, oh, it's in all of these animals now, so we just got to get rid of these animals. But all the time, Bill Gates has been talking about vaccinating the cows so the cows don't fart because that's going to change global warming. What? That's not a vaccination. That's genetically modifying the cows. That a vaccination isn't changing your gut biome. That's not a vaccination. What the heavenly holy sticks are you talking about? Are we being for real right now? Drop a comment, hit a share, drop some hearts or whatever. Even if you go into the comments and you just put like a heart or a smiley face or something, do that. Okay, because every comment helps get it out to more people, and definitely every share helps as well. So as we have this very serious conversation, I need to tell you guys, be alert for them trying to move against anything that would limit your freedom of mobility, anything that would limit your privacy, anything that's going to strip away anything that looks, sounds, or smells like it's a Second Amendment violation. Okay, anything that sounds like a First Amendment violation. Okay, and I'm specifically talking about freedom of speech in that part. And I'm talking about the right to redress your grievances with your government, which is another part, okay? And freedom of press, which is the freedom of distributing whatever you want, because they're up on all 3 of them right now. They're trying to limit all 3 of them hard, okay? Because they up to no good, okay? Again, whether you think that it's outside interference, whether you think it's inside interference, whether you think it's a little mixture of both, whether you think it's the elites that are manipulating everybody, because that's at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's the people at the top of the pyramid in our government, in our country, and the Western elites as a whole that are using these illegal immigrants, illegal aliens. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say immigrants. They done got to my head. They say it so much. Illegal aliens, okay, not immigrants, because they're not immigrants. Illegal aliens, to use them as a mercenary force against the American people. That's why they let in all these killers, murderers, rapists, all of this other stuff. Okay. That's why they let in all of these sexual offenders, that they let in all of these people that have been deported multiple times. Like the guy that set the other lady on fire the other day, okay? He had been deported already. You understand what I'm saying? There was a guy here where I live in a suburb. It's like 15, maybe 15 minutes from my house. And this guy was a gang member of some gang from South America. He had already been deported already. He's got had previous engagements with the police for armed battery and all types of other stuff here in the US. And he was wanted for murder back from where he was from. And he blew this house up. He slit this family's throat. Okay, it's a family of 4, mom, a dad, and 2 kids. And 2 kids wasn't even like teenagers, bro. They like 10 and 8, something ridiculous. He slit their throats and then blew up their house. These are people that are being let in. Okay. And again, like I said, these ain't even like the ISIS crazy people, but they're using these people that are out in the street talking about they're pro-Palestine, which they're not. Okay, these crazy socialists, communists, or whatever, and that are anti-American terrorists, jihadists, them people, those are I guess you would say, unknowing tools, right? Unknowing tools of the oppressor against us. I know how that sounds. That sounded a little left when I said it, but that's what they are. They're unwitting tools of the oppressors against the American people. That's exactly what they are. Okay, they're being used, they're being manipulated to cause all types of havoc and chaos so that the people at the top of the government and the elites can consolidate more power and push us away further from them, because they know that we've seen that they done put the boot up on our neck and they're stripping away our freedoms and liberties. And the American people started to get wise. So they were like, we can't have them get wise. We got to do everything we can to disenfranchise them, make them lose hope and feel like they're completely disempowered, so that they look to the government as the only solution, so that the government can make more of a overreaching police force, so that we can either nationalize the police or state level put the police. And as we see after these results, now in Las Vegas, now in New Orleans, they've got the state police and the city police and the federals and everybody working together, and it's in harmony and unison and everything. Bro, it's a setup. It is a setup. Y'all need to wake up. I encourage you to wake up. It's a setup. As much as I support the police, y'all probably seen videos with me supporting the police and all types of stuff, especially where I live. But it don't mean that I don't see that the government is up to no good. Y'all need to wake up. I encourage you. It's time to wake up, because we have to push back as the American people against this insanity. It starts by notifying other people and just pointing out, say, hey, that looks fishy. That sounds suspicious. That don't look right. It starts out by putting out stuff like that and pointing stuff out and just saying it to somebody that you know. Because we got to have these serious conversations. That's why when COVID hit, that's why they shut down the houses of worship, couldn't go to church. They shut down the bars, couldn't go to the bar, because they knew that that was where the American Revolution fermented. They knew that that was where the people gathered to exchange ideas freely. And when you exchange ideas freely, you smell more of the BS. And they don't want that. So it's very important, while we still can, we have these important conversations and we get the information out to more people. Please share, please subscribe, please follow. And if you can, definitely in the ticker down there, you can see different ways to donate, whether it's $5 or $10 or $15, whatever you can. You can donate on Cash App, $MW Real, the number 1, that's $MW Real, the digit 1, or you can do givesendgo.com/Marcus C. Williams, or you can do Venmo or PayPal at Marcus C. Williams. Whatever you can donate would be much appreciated. Help us get some more airtime and get out there in more places and to have these important conversations and make more videos. So as we finish up this conversation for the evening, my question to you is, do you feel safe? Or do you feel on high alert now? And I'd wager that many of you watching this feel on high alert. And that's exactly how they want you. They want you on the edge of your seat. They want you on pins and needles. They want you to be afraid, because they know when you're afraid, it's easier to take your meager possessions. It's easier to take the little bit that you still have, and they can strip it away from you at any given moment. Because as long as there is a possibility that we, the people, could rise up against our oppressive government. They will do whatever they can to keep us in our place, whether that means importing illegal and legal immigrants, to sandwich us between them, to use them as a mercenary force against the American people, as we see that they're being armed in many places like California, and even put on the police force or put into the National Guard in California. I believe it's Michigan as well, and a couple of other states. So this stuff is really serious, what's going on. They're doing everything that they can to prepare to squash the American people. Okay. And then we got these crazy, crazy people out here shouting down with America, and all types of stuff like that. If you don't think that the government is letting them do that, okay, you are sadly mistaken. Remember how they round up all of those people for January 6th, people that didn't even go in the building, old grandmas and stuff like that? And you think they letting these people out here talk about they legit gonna do an armed insurrection against the government? Come on now. An intifada is an armed overthrow of a government. And they're talking about overthrow the government with arms. Globalize the intifada, down with America, and all this other nonsense that they're saying. You think the government is just allowing that? You think that's a free speech thing? Come on, people, wake up. Understand that we're being manipulated, we're being conned, and they're using them as a tool against us as the American people. But right now, it's time for us to gather and start exchanging ideas and letting other people know that they're up to no good, y'all, so that we can see the BS when we see it and we can call it for what it is. And that's the start. The next part after that is to get active locally in your local politics. I am telling you right now, my lips to your ears, that they are up to no good on the federal level, and it's going to start to go down on the state level too. Please beware, please be wary, and please watch out, okay? You guys be blessed and be well, and remember, stand up, speak up, and don't shut up. Take action. Be sure to catch my shows. Sunday, I do the Elephant in the Room, 7 p.m., okay? And then you can catch it on whatever you're watching this on now. And Monday, I do my radio show, 2:30 to 4 p.m. on 106.3 WRFZ in Rochester, or you can catch me wherever you're streaming this right now. Make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe, share this out, and drop some comments. Every little bit helps. I'll catch you guys later. Be blessed and be well.